We're live. Hey everybody, Nick Ponte here. Welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam session. We are going to be talking today, or actually not just talking, but giving you a inside view of our seven-figure agency. And so we have a special guest, our operation manager, Tim. He's going to be coming here today. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the agency. We're going to take some questions. We're going to do some shout outs. We're going to have fun. So let's get going.
It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Welcome, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. You can see me. You can hear my voice. Just me today, me and Tim. Tom's not here. Let me fire up the audio here. My background music going. Set the mood, set the stage. Hey, Patty, how's it going? See, Howard's here. Dorn is here. Dorn, good to see you, man. Hope you're feeling better. Was anybody on the training yesterday? Or not yesterday, sorry, on Wednesday. There's been so much going on that the days are all blending together. Who here was on that training? David died. Cool. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about. So, as previously mentioned, we have a special guest who has never really made an appearance in the Offline Sharks Remote Millionaire world, or even in this live show. You know, he's been working with us at our agency for, probably going on close to 6 months now. We'll get that exact timeline when he comes out here, but I thought it would be great to bring him on so we could do what we do on the live show, go through our shout outs and do everything like that, but also to give people kind of this backstage view what is going on behind our agency in terms of getting clients, hiring, outsourcing, training, tools we use. These are all topics that, all of you that are watching, get curious about those. Get some questions going, throw them in the chat. We will circle around. A lot of times, one of the great ways that I think people feel inspired on their questions that you might be able to ask yourself is, what are you struggling with in your agency right now? Is it client getting? Is it you don't know what to sell? Is it your sales are not converting? Are you worried about your pricing? Is there a specific topic that you struggle with? Put that in the chat. And so while you were doing that, I am going to bring Tim out. So welcome, Tim.
Hello.
You're on the live show, man.
I'm live.
So yeah. So, I forgot to mention, Tim is in Hawaii too. He's just on a different island. He's in Honolulu. He's in Kailua, which is actually where my mom grew up. And so, he's working remotely. I'm working remotely. We're just on different islands, but we're both in Hawaii. So yeah, Tim, welcome. You've seen one of these live shows before, right?
Yeah, I've seen one before. I've been on one.
Okay.
It's been a while.
And so I have a question for you. You might feel like I'm putting you on the spot here, but
that's okay.
I'm not. That's not my intention. It's just that a lot of people that follow Tom and myself online in the the internet marketing world, there are a lot of people in the internet marketing world that have their internet marketing business, and then they say they have an agency and those types of things. And so it's very confusing for people that are in those audiences to know what is what, and so I think a great question to ask you that really shows the distinction between our agency and Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires is just like, man, how much do you really know about Offline Sharks?
Oh, not much.
Yeah, very little, right? Like we barely ever talk about Offline Sharks.
Yeah, we don't. I know the concept. I know what you're doing here, but I don't understand the whole business model, like what you're like the day to day and the week to week. No.
Right. And so again, I make that distinction because our agency is a completely separate business, everybody. It is a fully functioning agency, right? We're doing 7 figures a year right now. And this is our first year we'll be doing 7 figures, but we're already, I think we're somewhere, a couple $100,000 close to that. We're already, even with the fires, and we'll talk about that, even with the fires and the revenue that we lost, we're still on track to hit 7 figures. And this will be the first year that we've ever done that. But the reason I say that is it is a completely separate entity, and we're focused in the agency about agency stuff. And especially Tim, Tim was brought on originally. Well, maybe I'll just hand it over to you, Tim. So where was your entry point into the agency, and how did that kind of start?
Okay. So Nick started working with the sales rep, Megan, and I used to work with her, and she recruited me. I was like, hey, Tim, do you want to become a PPC freelancer for this cool agency I work for now? And I love working with you. So I started freelancing for Nick, and that's really how it started. And that's, Nick said, like 6 months ago. Actually, that was in December last year. So I think 10 months almost that we've been working together. Time's
flying.
It has been. It's been a lot of fun. Time's just flew by. So from there, it just all progressed, and lots of communication between Nick and I, lots of opportunities. I shared my dreams, my vision of my life, where I want to go, and Nick shared his. And it turned out that they were pretty much in alignment. And from that alignment, he gave me more tasks, like doing SEO work, project management work, kind of proving myself. What can I do? And while doing so, we communicate a lot about, like, he shares the processes, shares the ways he wants to do things, and I implement that in the things I do. And eventually, I was ready to move from my full-time job to here for Nick to be a full-time employee as the operations manager, and the other way around too. Stars aligned, we're both ready, and we made the transition, and here I've been in the operations role, which has been great.
Yeah, nice. And so when let's see, so what is your background in digital marketing in general? Like how long have you been interested in digital marketing, and how did that curiosity start? And I think the reason I'm asking that question, I think it's important for people to know that too, is because a lot of you you're looking to hire, right? Who here, put a 1 in the chat if you're looking to hire somebody on your team to maybe run Google ads, because that is where Tim and I, like he mentioned, started working together. He actually came in as a freelancer to start running Google ads for our business. And so I asked him about his entry point into digital marketing, because a lot of you who want somebody to run your advertising on behalf of your agency for your clients, I know you might be asking yourself, like, is this person really out there? Where do I look for this person? How do I find this person? What are the hallmarks of a potential great PPC expert or an ad expert or someone to join my team? Those little questions that I've felt are the ones that this is kind of my selfish curiosity that I'm going to kind of tease out from Tim to share with you. But do you see the comments there, Tim? I don't know if you can see them on your end.
I do see them.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool.
I was focusing on what you're saying, so
that's great. I just a lot of people are looking to hire, which is great. So just to recircle that question around, what was your entry point into digital marketing in general, and how long have you been doing that for?
So I'm originally from the Netherlands, and I've always been in marketing. Like, I graduated marketing, and when was it, 2014, 15, I started like working in digital marketing already. And then eventually in 2018, I moved from the Netherlands, or I was in Hawaii, moved to the Netherlands, and I moved back to Hawaii. And I wanted to, like, my coworkers in the Netherlands told me, like, you need to go into Google Ads. That's huge in America. That's an opportunity. And that's where my curiosity started. Like, I want to go learn it. And I did all the Google courses. I found any learning material. And me being in the United States back then was also a difficult time. Like, I was there for my kids, but I didn't see my kids, which then caused me to really focus on, I need to build a life here, to fight for my kids, to go after them. And get a career here. So I had a lot of time to self-study, dive deep. And then this opportunity came along, which was a dental company that said like, hey, would you like to run my Google Ads? So I did that. And without having really experience doing it, he gave me the trust to do it for him. And that was really my guinea pig. So for that one, I just dove so deep. I did everything I possibly could, turning it into like 20-30% click-through rate, like super cheap conversions. I forgot what it was, but like I just love what I did. And then I started working at an agency, and that's where I grew from an account coordinator into a Google Ads specialist there, to training the sales reps, the account coordinators, how to really sell Google Ads and make it a good sale, and also how to talk to a client when you're reviewing monthly calls with them. Mm-hmm. And in the meanwhile, I also started, like, because I had the dentist, I was like dreaming, hey, let's get my own clients. Let's start that as well. Well, I'm not a great salesperson, didn't grow much. That's where I got stuck. And from then on, I moved on to the next company where I was the digital marketing specialist, where I really could focus for one company, a bigger, like more corporate culture, and do their whole digital marketing campaigns, which was a great learning experience. But I also learned that I really like that agency lifestyle, and I really like working just with accounts, with clients. And then when the opportunity came with Nick, it was just like great. Like I want my own business, but I don't think it's for me. But I want to like run a marketing agency. I love working in a marketing agency, and that's how it grew, and that's where we are now.
You know, that's such an important distinction. I mean, you made so many great comments there, and I actually took a couple notes because they're really important, and I do want to circle back around to those. But you know, when I was starting the agency, I always struggled with exactly like I said previously, like, you know, I have these problems. I need somebody to run ads, but I'm not going to be able to find somebody to run ads. You know, I was in my head about it. Anybody that is going to want to run ads is probably working on their own business, you know, and that is a limiting belief that held me back for a long time. You know, you got into digital marketing, you got your first client, and I love the story of that because it was the same for me. Like I got my first client building a website, had no idea what the hell I was doing, did a bunch of Google searching, figured it out, and was hooked, right? I was hooked on this idea of building a remote business. And at that time, it wasn't really no idea of what I was, you know, calling a remote business. It was more just working from home, right? I had this dream of being able to not have to go to work every day and work on cars. And so my question on what you just said is like, you got your first client, you potentially could start your own business. You actually kind of did for a while. Why didn't you continue on that road? What didn't you like about not entrepreneurship, but starting your own thing?
And
it's important to ask this question because other people here, they're looking for people like you, you know, they're like entrepreneurship, starting your business. Look, that, as we all know, is not for everybody. And there is nothing wrong with that. I can completely, like, wholeheartedly tell you, there's so much freaking stress and risk and problems with starting and growing your business. And it takes, you know, it's just, some people can do that and still perform, and other people don't want to take on that turmoil. And as long as they find a great organization to be a part of, can still grow in the ways that, you know, like we're talking about doing. Like my model of, you know, working with Tim and bringing on people to the team, it's like our agency had, and I say this before, it's kind of repetitive for Tim, but our agency has this vision of where we're going, right? It's big. It's a big vision. We want to, you know, we are the best leading marketing agency in Hawaii, and we want to make everybody know that and help every single business here. Like that's our vision. And so Tim's got to be able to fit his vision inside of our vision if he wants to work within this company. So if my vision is like, look, I want to do the marketing for everybody on my street, it's a pretty small vision. Like Tim's not going to be able to do what he needs to do. So think about that, everybody. Like you have to have that dream, that vision so big that when you are looking to bring people on, they can do that. and it may not be that you are even close to that vision yet, but you know where you're going and you can communicate that to your team. So that was just a little addition there. But yeah, what was it about the, starting and maintaining the business that you didn't like?
I think there's two parts of it. One part is really the risk. I was not in a place, or I've not been in a place that I really could just not work and just focus on my business and combining both of them. Mm-hmm. So, but excuses are also a big part of it. Like me saying this makes me think like that's just an excuse. I could have worked harder. I could have worked more nights. I could have worked more weekends. I chose as well other priorities during that time, and then on top of it as well. Shucks, I forgot it.
Well, I'm with you. Like, so if the tables were turned and you started your agency and you had this thing going, and I built my website for that client, and I was looking to grow and continue on, and I came across you in this thing that you were doing, I would have been so stoked to be a part of that. Myself, like, I know that number one, I would have learned so much more, so much faster, which, I mean, how has your 6-month period, or, even just the few months that you've been in operations, like, how much have you learned from being a part of the agency?
I've learned so much. And a big reason for the learning is, and that's what I was looking for. And that's what Nick has been building. And that's what's so awesome is he's not building just the marketing products to sell it or to do it. He's building a business. He's building the values of the business, the goal of the business. And based on those values and the goal we have, we can act upon those. Like, one of the big ones is like communication, because we're all remote and we need to communicate and we need to connect. Like, if there's a mistake, we need to be vulnerable. We need to be able to communicate about it. We need to own up to it, and we need to grow from it. And creating such culture, because we have that environment within the agency, it's just only growth is possible. Even everything that is going, like everything that's wrong, the fires, losing clients, mistakes that people make, the money that's lost because of that. As long as we communicate about it, we learn from it, we're going to grow. We're going to do better next time. And that's really the system that we're working in.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Megan yesterday about this, and, obviously we've lost a lot of clients in Maui, which is, expected for natural disaster. And the changes that we've been making in the agency and how we've, been helping people and pivoting and monitoring everybody that is still here, it's going to allow us to build back even stronger. We at that time, a month ago, we were also growing at an incredibly fast rate, right, Tim?
Yes, we can breathe again almost.
Exactly. So, and this everybody, this speaks to the agency model that we have, like how we get clients, how we deliver the services and all that stuff. Like, it works really well, and all of you that were on the Remote Millionaires training on Wednesday, where we broke down a lot of, our systems and processes in a way that you could understand it a little bit more. Having those systems and processes has allowed us to get to where we are. Improving those systems and processes allows us to get where we're trying to go. And, our processes have been working really well. And as you grow and scale, they eventually break. What you were doing for 10 or 15 clients, now that you have 30, it no longer works. It has to be improved. You have to find another way. You're laughing. What do you want to say? You just know, you feel it.
It's true. Like we have great processes, but then, this doesn't work really for this situation anymore. And like the 3 pillars, like, we've been growing with clients, but then where's the fulfillment going? Where's the systems and operations going? It's hectic on those parts. The clients is great, but it's a little bit more hectic there. And those are the growing pains that are exciting and fun, but it is a struggle. And I'm sure that everybody here listening can relate to those pains as well. see those as opportunities again.
Yeah. And to go back to what I was saying there, our systems and processes now are, they're supportive of $100,000 to $150,000 per month revenue generating agency. So for those of you that have not joined Remote Millionaires yet, or you're looking at joining, you might be asking yourself, well, what can I pick up in that program? What can I learn in that program? What's in there? And that is basically what you need to know. If you're less than 150 in revenue per month, 150K in revenue per month, then you're going to be able to pick up. I mean, imagine what the shortcut would be to jump in and have all those systems and processes the same way that Tim, when he joined our agency, he came in. I didn't have time to teach him every single thing about the agency. How did you get up to speed when you joined the agency for the most? I mean, obviously I did teach you some things. We've met, but what are the resources within the agency that have been most valuable to you?
Yeah, I was lucky to gradually come in like as an PPC Google Ads expert, and I was thrown into Slack and SOPs and communicating again, but reading the SOPs, finding the structures, the workflows from how to onboard a client, how to set up call tracking, how to set up conversions, anything like that. There's been a process documented. And from having that process, Nick didn't have to sit down with me to share how, because every company has a little bit different process of how they like to do things. And I asked those questions, like, what do you, what is your process? And from there.
You get a link. I send you the link.
Yeah, here's the link.
Great. Here's the process.
That's helpful. And, I'm looking about like hiring people. I think a great feature for when you hire someone to listen is like, do they ask questions? Are they open to seeing like, what is your process, instead of just being stuck on their own process? And that's growth for the future as well.
Yeah. There's a couple comments that are pretty funny here that I want to point out. Somebody asked if your shirt is considered camouflage in Hawaii.
What?
If your shirt is considered camouflage in Hawaii. No, you know what? Tim's rocking an Aloha Friday t-shirt and I am not. So
Nick.
Respect, Tim. Hi. Respect. And he's from the Netherlands. I'm from Hawaii. I'm no bonus points for me today. Dorn says lots of people don't want the hassle and responsibility of risk of running a business. I mean, it's true. It's not for everybody. And I think there's a big push for, entrepreneurship. A lot of people hate on working somewhere. That's a great angle in marketing, working for somebody else and building their dreams and all that stuff. But I can tell you right now, like that is not always the case. You can build something that people want to be a part of, and you will find amazing people that want to be a part of that. And for me being the owner or whatever, it allows me to get out of like being the guy in the front and just being part of the troops, being a member of the team, which is what I actually want. Like, I don't, I'm the CEO, I do the vision and I think about the future and where we're going, all that stuff. But like, man, I would much rather be like, with the team, working alongside, coming up with ideas together, asking questions like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? You guys are probably smarter than I am. Thank God. If I made the right choice, I got people greater than I am on the team. That's the kind of culture that I want to be a part of. And if you have something like that where people have a voice and they can be appreciated and they can see a change in what they're doing in their clients or even in the business, then your world is going to be opened up to who you can bring in to your business. And there is the vast majority of people are not entrepreneurs. They aren't. And I lived in a bubble for a long time and I think it was just because my Facebook and YouTube algorithm, my social media algorithm, once you watch one video somewhere about entrepreneurship, you're just guilt tripped into starting your business for the rest of your life. Right. And so the reason I'm making this point, everybody, is that people are out there. I know you are all building your own business, and I think that's great. We have a community of people who are willing to take the risk and doing awesome things and getting clients and all that stuff. But the big piece holding people back from really growing is not hiring fast enough, not outsourcing fast enough. And what that really boils down to is delegating. You need to get more clients. Well, delegate that to an appointment center. Delegate the closing to a salesperson. You need to deliver more services for all those clients you're bringing in. Well, delegate that to an SEO expert and a copywriter and a web developer and a Google ad expert so that you can keep growing, and that's the fear. People are like, well, where do I find those people? They don't exist. They do exist. I'm here right now with somebody that is part of our agency and we're having a good time, right?
Sure. No.
So Kim said, this is kind of making me want Tim's job.
Oh, Kim.
You got competition, Tim.
I know, right?
So circling back to, we just talked about the SOPs, and you have a question about doing a process. Maybe it's, a client sending emails to get clients, or maybe it's, hiring or running an SEO campaign, or have a web design website built. We have systems for all those things. And so for those of you that weren't on that training yesterday, as part of a Remote Millionaire, you basically get access. As part of Remote Millionaires, you basically gain access to all of those SOPs and that library of what we do and all the systems in the agency, so that you can do the same as I do. Like when you make a hire and they have a question, you can give them the SOP from the agency, from our agency. It's actively running and working, and feel confident that they're getting a process that works. And like Tim mentioned, he has a question. I send him the link first to the SOP, which brings him up to speed. He might have some questions after that, which is great. I want him to have those questions. But the main thing is I don't have to start from scratch. Does anybody feel like they're starting from scratch? You have like a VA or a web developer or an SEO person, and you have a new client, or each time you hire, you're like starting over. You're starting over. And maybe you trained somebody at some point really well, but you haven't been able to find another person to do it again. That's what systems and processes can do with the hiring and training part of your agency. Oh, it's a brilliant idea. Someone said if I would only make some course to share my knowledge. Tim, who said that?
Oh, that's funny.
So here's a question. Somebody said they have seen a lot of successful people have a degree or marketing or university education. What do you think is good advice for the ones that don't have that, like myself?
Can I answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead. You take the lead.
Sure. I have not learned any, the time that I graduated, there was no digital marketing degree. It was all just traditional marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Will I really use that? All those models? Not really. What I think the education is for is learning to systemize your work, to be dedicated, to do the work that needs to be done, and show that and prove that you can study and do those things. So as long as you have those features and you can train yourself those things, you can learn anything online. It's really a mindset. There's so many successful people who don't have an education that have huge businesses because of that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my opinion on it. I'm not sure if that's really true, but
no, it is. I think it is. And up until about a year ago, when I was living in New York, I had never heard of a digital marketing degree ever. It didn't exist. And then I met a kid. I met a kid. I met a friend of mine. Was like, hey, my family's having a barbecue out in Long Island. You want to come hang out? And I'm like, sure. I'm making friends. I'm trying to grow my peer group there. They go there, and it turns out it was a graduation party for a young kid that just got his digital marketing degree. And I was like, what? They have those? I was shocked. I didn't know they existed yet. In fact, I was saying in a lot of my, sales and marketing for offline sharks that it doesn't exist, which is why you can get it here, which is actually what I think, the age of information is incredible, and it's drastically changing. And with that, so is education. the way that you can get information and educated now is just not the same as it was 10 years ago. And I would make the argument that, like, yeah, you could go get a college degree in digital marketing. You're going to get some solid fundamentals probably and some great information, but you're going to lack the execution. And so there are, and I don't, I'm not hating on that by any means. If you're an agency, if you want to start your own business, there are better programs out there. You know, for example, and this just ties into Remote Millionaires, it's all about building a business that's 6 and 7 figures. And you're getting all of that information from, you know, how to get clients, how to systemize and fulfill all the work. And so it is a much more all-encompassing, robust training program and accountability and mentorship to help you execute and build that type of business. You can't really go to, I mean, I don't know that you can go to college and they really give you this business model. They hand it over to you on a silver platter and say, here's how we get clients, here's how we outsource the work, and here's how we systemize everything so there's checks and balances and it all gets done properly. Don't hit the nail on the head. Yeah, YouTube University can help.
Right.
The problem with YouTube University, there's a lot of great information there. I still go there regularly, and you all should be too, is you have to be able to decipher what is relevant and accurate right now and applicable to you. You know, when you go on YouTube, you could get led down a rabbit hole that's going to waste you 6 months or 4 weeks or 3 hours, which I don't have. I don't personally have 3 hours to waste. So I would much rather gain access to the specific information that I am looking for. And that is where, you know, the birth of Remote Millionaires came from. It's like, look, we have this business, we have this very specific information, and we should be teaching people how to do that. And I'm actually going to put this link here right now at the bottom of the screen because I've been talking about this a lot. If you haven't already and you're interested in joining Remote Millionaires, we've actually just opened it up for a little while, for a limited time. You can go to offlinesharks.com/apply now. It takes 2 minutes. It's free. And you can apply to join Remote Millionaires. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a call from somebody in our team. We're just going to, this is a consultative phone call. This is not a high pressure sales call or anything like that. We're going to find out where you're at. We're going to ask you some questions. How's your business going? How many clients do you have? How's that working? You know, where are you getting them from? Do you have a system there? How are you fulfilling? What's your pricing? Do you have a system there? We're going to find out how we can help you and if we can help you. And if we can, we'll make you an offer to join Remote Millionaires. There's 25, we opened it up with 25 seats available. I think we already, I saw hundreds of applications come in. So what you'll want to do is go there right now and apply if you're interested in having a shortcut, a cheat code to building your digital marketing agency. And for those of you that already have applied, please throw your questions in the chat and Tim and I will circle around and answer them. Somebody said, Jeremy says, there'd be cool if there is a digital agency owner degree, like a mix between entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Remote Millionaires.
There you go. There you go. And, you know, we have people in Remote Millionaires that have they take that information and they teach other people in their family. Like I've seen husband, wife combination team, which is pretty cool to see, you know, and there's a lot of success happening there. I think Tom on our live training, he opened up our Slack channel and showed the celebrations channel. We have this celebrations channel in Slack for all of our RM members. And whenever they close a deal or, you know, they hire a new person or whatever, they post it in the celebrations channel. And if you go in there, it's just like every single day, people posting win after win after win. Giovanni wants to know what kind of services are under the RM program. What do you mean about that? Like, what do we teach you? Like, what services do we sell? Because the services that we sell, we have 5 services in the agency, but right now we're really focused on scaling 2 of them. So we sell websites, SEO, PPC, reputation marketing, and social media posting. But we have been really focusing on the SEO and the Google ads because we've been getting so many clients that, at 50 to 100 clients, your processes have to be bulletproof, especially your retention with all those clients. So we have been really focusing on 2 things at once right now. But those are you get information on all 5. Frankie says, I think it's better to jump in and start. You learn quicker that way. Frank, people always wish they would be there at the right time. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, I'm gonna open up our other shout outs here, everybody. We're gonna go over those because some of them are also Remote Millionaire members. Some of them are just members of this Facebook group. So, Tim, every week we go over celebrations in our Facebook group.
Cool.
Are you in our Facebook group?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't think you are.
I should be.
You should be. So, Frank, who's in RM, you see this little icon here in the top right means that this person is a remote millionaire. So Frank said he turned a free listing into a premium simply by calling the people that he populated his AGM site with to verify their info for $147, and he closed a $1,500 upfront for 3 months social media posting deal on that call. That is a solid win, Frank. Frank's here too, right? Yeah, I see him in the chat. Yeah. Frank, we call him Frank the Tank. Good job, Frank. So Donna Norris upsold a client hosting and maintenance $899 a year, closed a new SEO client today for 6 months, $1,500 a month, bumped up a current SEO client from $1,000 to $2,500 a month. Wow, that's a huge win.
That's great.
3 huge wins.
Yeah.
Hosting and maintenance, man, that's a great plan. Great win. Joanne Smith got her Google certification for Google Business Profile as her main goal this year to move more into Google Business Profile work. Google certificate. Did you know Google gives out certificates, Tim?
Certificates, like the training courses, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I started. That's really
how you started? So you got certified?
Certified. Google Ads, Analytics, Basics.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really the start of my process of my university.
And was it really helpful?
I think doing it in real life is a lot more helpful.
Yeah.
Like having to maintain your certifications is good, but I think really doing it and reading online, it's good to be updated on the new features.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sandy Alexander, Google Business Profile Optimization for $199 for a remodeling and renovation company and reputation management marketing, $99 a month. Nice, Sandy. Looks like a great foot in the door opportunity too. Just over deliver like crazy on your new Google Business Profile Optimization. That's what I do, and I know Tim would do too. Provide as much value as you humanly possibly can, so they can't say no to your $1,000 a month SEO package after doing so. Norm Thomas picked up 3 new Google Business Profile clients this week, $750, $3,500, and $650. New SEO client, $12,000. Wow, I wonder if that's a one-time fee. It's got to be a one-time fee, right? I mean, $12,000 a month, is that like...
That's a solid...
That's got to be a big franchise if that's a monthly retainer. We'll need some clarification on that.
Yeah.
Abub, sorry if I mispronounced your name, completed another website design project he picked up on Fiverr, $350. Nice. And Jeff Tompkins, painting contractor that traded work on his home for a website and promotion, got an inquiry today from a luxury home building company to submit pricing to be their painting contractor. So Jeff had somebody come paint his home and then offered to build them a website. And through what he's doing, that company got their first lead.
Nice.
That's awesome. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. Now, next step, PPC.
Right. And that's perfect. So like we do in our agency, the website is really just the initial step a lot of the times. I mean, we're not trying to be a web development agency. What we really want to do is, now that they have a website, let's get them some traffic. Let's get them some rankings. Let's get them some customers to that website, which is kind of difficult to say no to if you just had a new website built, because that's the next logical step. You want people to go there and buy your services. That's why we love websites.
Yeah.
So combined total of $13,000 for the week, grand total. So this is a stat every week that we share, Tim. We're at over $1 million of revenue collected by the people in this Facebook group.
That's awesome.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Did you know we had all this stuff going on in Offline Sharks?
No, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
thanks for
wild.
having me. Thanks for listening to my voice. I didn't know that was interesting.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks for being here and being willing to do it. I mean, I'm sure I already see people asking questions. You know, Kim wants to know if you do any PPC trainings.
Do I do any PPC trainings?
Yeah.
Nick and I might create one.
So that's a great question, Kim, and it's something that we've thought about and talked about and could potentially be something that we're working on in the future. I mean, let me ask all of you here, if we were to put some trainings together from, you know, people like Tim that are working in our agency specifically to what they're doing, you know, PPC experts, operations people, web developers, project managers, account coordinators, is that some kind of information that you guys would be interested in? There's also always a delay in the comments, so it's not just crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we got one nope.
Nope.
So
Yes.
if you are interested in that, that's basically what we do in Remote Millionaires. You know, we are continuing to cultivate and grow the systems that we offer our clients, and we put them into our SOPs. And I have trainings every single month where I'm sharing this information, the training from our PPC desk. You know, I'm actually going to bring Tim on to one of those trainings. I brought you into a Remote Millionaire training, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Remote Millionaire members get access, even more access to dialogue. And anytime we have a new winning strategy, anything that's working within the agency, like, we bring those people in. We bring the agency in and we talk about it.
Love you, Frank. Thank you. Oh, wear more Hawaiian shirt.
Let's see. Dorn says, every monthly training I have to raise my prices. So every time Dorn comes to our trainings, he wants to raise his prices because the value in his service goes up, which is not a bad thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you're starting out and you are not an expert at what you were doing and you're providing somebody with a service, it is kind of difficult to charge expert level pricing. But as you do it a few times, like with Tim, when he got his first dentist client, you know, he learned how to do it for that client, and then he continued to scratch the itch and get smart and learn more. And as you develop those skills and you get better, you can now start charging more for your services, because not only do you have skills that you can talk about, but you also probably have a portfolio of clients that you can point to and say, look, I'm just going to do for you what I did for these 10 people. And that is social proof, which is what can be so powerful in getting people to trust you, right? Like reviews. When people see a review, they trust you more because somebody had a good experience. And so if you guys have clients and you're doing well for people, I highly encourage you to ask them for reviews. But when you get those reviews, you take those reviews, you take a screenshot, you put it on Facebook, you put it on your Instagram, you paste that image there, and you talk about what you did for that person, so that the audience, even if it's small, you know, even if you only have a couple of hundred people that are following you on Facebook and Insta, you have no idea. There may be somebody in there that is your next customer. And if you do not go out there and tell people what you're doing, you're not going to get anybody to pay you for your stuff. And that's just like the fundamentals. Now, if the way that you are telling people are what you're doing is through a Facebook ad that can be seen by 50,000 people a day or 100,000 people a day, then obviously you're going to have a greater reach. But if you're not doing that yet, you have to be out there somehow letting people know what you're doing.
That's a great one, Nick. I really like that. That's really what held me back as well. Like not communicating to everyone outside enough. It's really that communication if you want to grow.
Why do you know why you didn't do that? It held me back too. I know why I didn't do that personally, but do you know why?
Discomfort.
Yeah. I was afraid of judgment from like other people.
Yeah, definitely.
Like people seeing my business and what I was doing and probably thinking like, man, this guy's crazy.
Right.
You know, what's he doing? What's he even talking about? But that is, again, another limiting belief. It's going to stop you from growing. It's going to stop you from making progress. Who cares?
Right. And it's also in the beginning of your business, or at least for me, it was in the beginning of my business. And then you're not as confident yet. You
Right.
don't trust yourself as much to do those services. But once you trust yourself, big businesses, they will pay for your services, and they don't really care about the price tag. As they see the value, then it's doable.
Yeah, and I say this too, like for me it was people seeing me start this new business. For some reason, I think it was my ego. It was like, if I'm starting a business, it should already be very successful when I tell people about it.
Yes.
Like there's no way I could start something that's not just crushing it, right? And a lot of people feel that way. I know a lot of people feel like afraid of telling people and showing people what they're doing at zero, at the ground level when it's nothing. Of course, when you have someone that's making six figures, you're happy to talk about it, right? Because you have proof. You're like, look, it's great. People are excited for you. And that's kind of what I did. I waited way too long to actually start to talk about what I was doing. And so if you might be feeling that way right now, think about that. Are you prolonging your ability to maybe progress in your business just by a limiting belief? George says, my fear of getting into something new for me. Yeah. So do you guys have any final questions before we get out of here? Last round of questions, anything on, hiring, training, outsourcing, sales, systemizing, SOP, remote millionaires? Hopefully everybody here went and saw that training. Like I said, we had like 100+ applicants that came in on Wednesday, and there's around 50 people here right now. And so if you haven't already applied, you can go to offlinesharks.com/apply now. It's just a form. Somehow my screen just froze.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's staring at you, Tim.
Yeah, it's a great stare.
Make sure to look good.
You're black now. Like the screen is black.
There
Sorry.
you go. Terry says, I agree. As a newbie, as a brand newbie, I feel I need to be able to show others I'm already successful with clients so they do not think I'm a fraud. So Terry, I know what you mean. And there are ways to hack your authority. So you may feel imposter syndrome, or as a newbie, just new and afraid. And so you can hack your authority. And I'll give you one way. I'll give you the way if you join Remote Millionaires. If you join Remote Millionaires, here's how you can hack your authority. Next time you're talking to a client, you can say, look, they ask you, who have you done this for? Or show me your portfolio. And you can say, look, and you be open, honest, and authentic. That's going to be the best possible way to go about this. Don't try to lie and be like, I've been doing this for 10 years. Like that's obviously not going to work. But what you can say is, I'm so passionate about digital marketing and growing my business, and I haven't done this for somebody yet. But right now, I'm part of a mentorship program where my coach has a 7-figure agency. They're actively doing this exact thing that I'm going to do for you for 50 clients right now. So I'm going to take all the information he gives me and I'm going to implement it for you. And you're going to get a deal on that because he normally charges people $5,000 a month. I'm only going to charge you $1,000 a month. And that's how you hack your authority, Terry. And that way, they're like, oh shit, you're gonna do that for me? Who's the guy? They go look at my website. They're like, if they do for me what they do for their clients, I should probably take that deal. Would you take that deal, Tim?
All day.
Right. So there are other ways to hack your authority too, Terry. That's just one. I obviously wanted to use the remote millionaire example because We're only going to be taking members until we get 25, and that should only be within the next few days. So if you haven't, look
at that.
Terry joined late last night. I'm going to I think I saw that actually. Welcome, Terry. Excited to be working with you. I actually have my local marketing call in Remote Millionaires next week. Wait, is it next week? Sorry, it's the next week is sales and prospecting. So we have our subject matter expert who's going to go over sales and prospecting. And then the following week is business leadership and team development. And then my call is on Friday, or the next Thursday, sorry. Well, cool. We have one final thing to get out of here, Tim. I don't think you've ever seen this before, but you're probably going to laugh. So let's do it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Here comes.
Oh, I almost double tapped.
Do it again.
So every Friday, at least we try to reward people that come to the show. You know, people that are in our community, participating in the growth of their business, asking questions, engaging with us. That shout out post I made at the Facebook group that I showed you, you all know that if you go there and you make a comment and you congratulate those people that have wins this week, we pick 2 people at random. Shashan, who is our community manager, has already done that. And she let me know. And Michael Marquez and Enrique Fernandez are both going to get some Cash App money straight to their Cash App right now. So thank you for participating. Thank you all for being here. If you're interested in joining Remote Millionaires, you absolutely should. It's the best program out there in terms of building and growing your digital marketing agency. We show you everything that we're doing in our agency right now that's actively making 7 figures. Tim is our operations manager who is a part of that agency. Tim, thank you for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. It's great.
Yeah, we got to do it more.
Yeah.
We should.
I
think we should come up with some topics and have specific topics.
Yeah, let's ask everybody. Do you guys want that?
Yeah. Hey, guys, show Tim some love. Let's thank Tim for being here. Let's hype him up to come back and share some of his knowledge.
I'm sure if they want it.
No, they do. I know they do.
I'll wear Aloha shirts too then.
Yeah, and you have to wear Aloha shirts. It'll be your signature.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
There you go.
I love it. Frank the Tank. Frank, bring your green hat.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, it was an awesome show. Thank you all for being here. Again, go check out and apply for Remote Millionaires, and we'll see you next Friday.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires podcast at remotemillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.